Listen, if you're struggling to get sales, it is probably because you are using the wrong strategy. In this video, I'm going to tell you how I got my first 1,000 sales without having a huge audience, not a lot of followers, and frankly, not even spending much when it comes to ads.
There's no stopping me now. I know my 𝗕𝗂𝘂𝗵𝗱. Money's all over me. I'm called to be rich and be free.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am Ebony Evaughn, your go-to business operations strategist, here to help you grow your business through people and processes. In today's video, I am back with another digital marketing strategy video. Today, I'm going to be giving you a behind-the-scenes look at the strategy I used to get my first 1,000 sales online, how you can mirror it and do the same thing. In fact, the inspiration behind this video is that I'm actually using this exact strategy and concept in order to get my next 1,000 sales online, right? So just to give you guys a little bit of background about me, I have been in the online world of entrepreneurship for over 10 years at this point. At my peak, the largest following, the largest audience I ever had online was right at 10,000 followers on my original 𝗧𝗵𝗃 Republic Instagram right before it was deleted. But since then, I started rebuilding, and then I was just like, I don't even care about Instagram like that, right? So I don't have Instagram, I don't have Facebook. My primary marketing channels are YouTube, Pinterest, and then just my website, blog. And I've never just relied or even focused on growing a huge audience or growing a huge following, because one of the things that I learned early on is in order to be successful, you don't have to have a large audience. You just need to be famous to a few, right? And so it takes me back to a concept from 𝗕𝗂𝘂𝗵𝗀 about 1,000 true fans. There's also another book called Famous to a Few, where, you don't have to be known to everybody. You don't have to have this huge audience. You just have to have a small set of a core loyal audience or customers in order to be successful. So just to give you a little bit of context, there is this book by 𝗕𝗂𝘂𝘂𝗵𝗀 called 1,000 True Fans. The concept that he lays out in this book is how I ended up getting my first 1,000 sales online, and I'm implementing this strategy right now in order to get my next 1,000 sales online for my digital products. So just a high-level overview of this concept, 1,000 true fans. Basically, in the book, 𝗕𝗂𝘂𝘂𝗋 says that in order to make 100K in 1 year, you just need to sell a $100 product to 1,000 people, right? And then he gives you the actual strategy for how you do that. And we're going to get into the strategy in a minute, but this concept is pretty much what I use in my business. Anytime I learn something new, I follow this strategy still to this day to get my first sales for that new product or service. And it is what I'm using now. It is what you can use as well. Okay. So the only difference is now I use it in a different way, to where sometimes I may play around with the numbers. So let's say that I have a product that is $1,000. Obviously, if it's $1,000, I want to make 100K. All I have to do is get 100 sales. Let's say I have a $200 product, right? Then that means I need 500 loyal people for this product or service. So I use the same concept. I just play around with the numbers depending on the price point and the number of sales I need to reach my sales goal for the product or service. All right. So now let me go ahead and break down the exact strategy that I use to get the first 1,000 sales online. And it's what I'm using now to get the first 1,000 sales for my Correct collection, which is a new collection that it's still kind of new, right? I've been launching different products over like the last year and a half in this Correct collection. Essentially, my Correct collection is different business tools and resources to help entrepreneurs, service providers scale from solopreneurs to CEOs. by doing different business operations the correct way. So I have Email Correct, which is how to create an email marketing system so you do your email marketing the correct way. I have Coach Correct, which is about instructional design and coaching techniques so that you can coach the correct way, right? And so on. So each product in the correct collection is about doing things the correct way so that you streamline and optimize your business impact and revenue. So with that, for every single product or service that I have within the correct collection, I follow the 1000 True Fans concept in order to generate sales for that product or service. So first things first, when it comes to implementing the 1000 True Fans concept, the foundation of that is making sure that you solve a problem with your products or services, right? You have to provide real solutions to real problems for real people, okay? So I know there are a lot of gurus out there that have so much content on how to create demand, how to spark interest and get sales and all this other stuff. And I am here to tell you right now, let me hold your hand when I say this, that if your product does not feel a real need in the market, there's not a demand for it, you may get a few sales here and there, but it's not going to be sustainable, right? You need to make sure that whatever products and services that you offer, they fulfill a void in the market. They solve a real problem. When your product or service solves a problem, it sells itself. So for example, in my business, I have something called the Correct Collection, right? The Correct Collection is basically a collection of multiple different products, but each product within the Correct Collection literally focuses on solving one problem for my target audience. So for example, in the correct collection, there's Email Correct, there's Coach Correct, there's Plan Correct, there's Lunch Correct, there's Serve Correct. But each one of these systems is designed to help my target audience do these things the correct way. So for example, Email Correct is all about having the correct email marketing system within your business. Lunch Correct is all about having a foolproof lunch system and a lunch process so that you can maintain all the moving parts of your lunch and actually have a profitable lunch. Serve Correct is all about serving your clients, giving them a good client experience from the onboarding process through the offboarding process. So each one of these products within the Correct Collection is focused on providing one solution to solve one problem for one specific client avatar or pain point that they have. So you need to make sure that you have this in your own business. You need to make sure that your products and services solve real problems. If you have to create demand for your product or service, it is not going to be sustainable and it's probably not going to be profitable as well, okay? Now that we have that understood, the next thing is you want to focus on building a high quality audience, getting people on your email list or someplace where you can actually build your relationship with them. But you're not just focusing on getting everyone on your email list, getting a whole bunch of followers just for the sake of having followers. You really want to focus on having high quality people within your ecosystem, within your audience, or on your email list, okay? And I'll tell you why that is important in a minute, but that is going to be the next phase of the strategy. You want to make sure that you focus on high quality relationships. You focus on attracting the people who fit your target audience. You want to focus on the people that you have a solution to their pain points and to solve their problems. The next thing is, now that you're focusing on attracting the right target audience that's going to be high quality leads for you, you need to implement a way to actually get them into your ecosystem. And how you do that, in Kevin Kelly's book, 1,000 True Fans, he focuses on you using lead magnets or freebies in order to get people on your email list. But I've kind of modified this a little bit. So instead of focusing just on free leads, I do a mix of offering free and a low ticket value, right? So this is going to be a low ticket offer that people can purchase without having a lot of risk involved. But hear me when I say this. When it comes to providing lead magnets as well as low ticket offers, I know a lot of people will create products for $7, a $7 ebook, a $27 checklist or whatever, and it's absolute trash. Even when it comes to freebies, a lot of people's freebies are absolute trash. But if you want to build a loyal audience, attract loyal customers who are willing to spend $100, $1,000 with you, you need to make sure from that very first touch point, what you give them is actually going to be a higher perceived value. Even if you're giving people something for free, when people consume that content, they should feel like, man, I can't believe I got this for free. I feel I would have paid money for this, right? If you're giving someone a low ticket offer and it's $27, they should feel like, man, this was a lot of value for $27. I would have paid $100 for this, right? And that goes along with making sure that you're giving them a good client experience. If you have a lead magnet and your lead magnet is trash, people aren't going to buy this trash lead magnet and be like, this lead magnet didn't solve my pain point. Let me just buy this next thing that they're selling me, right? They're going to feel like if this lead magnet is trash, whatever they offer me next is going to be trash too. And so they're probably just going to just not buy anything from you. They're probably going to unsubscribe. They're going to unfollow you and move on and find someone else. So when it comes to your freebies, when it comes to your low ticket offers, mid ticket offers, high ticket offers, everything needs to make sure that your clients have a good experience and they feel like they would have paid more for whatever it is that they got. So hopefully that is making sense. So now that people are consuming your freebies, your lead magnets, your low ticket offers, this is very important, right? A lot of people focus on getting sales for like a coaching program, to where you get people into your coaching program, and in order for you to continue to generate revenue, you constantly have to be generating new leads in your business. And when you market like that, your business relies on you having to constantly generate new leads. This is what leads to burnout. If you want to avoid burnout or having those inconsistent sales months, you want to focus just as much on client retention as you do on lead generation. This is a little bit of free game, okay? When it comes to growing your business, increasing your revenue, it is a lot easier for you to keep a client that you already have than it is to acquire a new one. So once you have people in your ecosystem, you want to make sure that you push them along that customer journey so that you continue to help them solve their problems, solve their pain points, and you're offering them solutions that would be logical. Now, you don't want to just have people in your funnel and you just selling them whatever just to try to make sales and treat people like transactions. You want to actually be cultivating that relationship. This is how you create loyal customers for life, okay? This is you understanding their pain points, understanding what problems they have, and providing solutions and support for them that naturally leads them through your sales funnels into the next thing. Trust me, it is a lot easier for you to nurture and upsell an existing client that you already have than to actually acquire new customers on a constant basis, okay? Now, once you have people in your ecosystem, they're buying multiple products or services from you, you want to make sure that you deepen that connection, you foster that relationship, so that people become raving fans of you. These are the people that are going to go out and do the marketing on your behalf. They're telling their family and friends about you. They're recommending you to their biz bestie, right? They're providing testimonials, and they basically become your walking marketing team, your street team, and they bring you new clients, new sales to your business. This is essentially the concept that Kevin Kelly teaches through the 1000 True Fans concept. This is essentially the strategy that I use to get my first 1000 sales online. This is also the strategy that I am using right now in order to get the first 1000 sales for each one of the products and services that I offer within. Now, I'm not trying to get 1000 sales for everything, but for each product and service inside of the correct collection, this is a strategy that I'm using to get my next set of sales. It is all about cultivating relationships, focusing on high quality leads, letting people know that you're not for everyone, right? You are specifically for the people who fit your target audience. And that is always the core or the focus of the marketing content that you put out into the world. That is the core and focus of the products and services that you create and the messaging that you have as a whole. So I hope by me sharing kind of the behind the scenes of how I'm using this strategy and breaking it down, this helps you in your own business. Listen, if you're watching this and you find yourself feeling burnt out when it comes to content creation, you're frustrated by your lack or slow business growth when it comes to your sales or your revenue, then I want to invite you to give this 1000 True Fans concept a try. Whether you play around with the numbers, maybe you don't have $100 product to sell, right? Maybe you sell a $500 product and you want to focus on getting your first 200 True Fans. Maybe you have a $50 product and you want to be able to sell it to 2,000 people. Feel free to play around with those numbers, but also give this 1000 True Fans concept a try, right? I am a firm believer in trying things that are tried and true. If it worked for me in the past, I will continue to use it until it doesn't work anymore, okay? So it worked in the past. It's working for me now. I will continue to use this 1000 True Fans concept. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions, if you've ever tried this in your business. If you found this content to be valuable, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. As always, I just want to say thank you guys so much for stopping by my internet home. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on those notifications so anytime I post another video like this, you will be the first one to get notified. Bye, y'all.